Welcome to this beautiful guided meditation. Gently close your eyes, allowing the day's light to fade into a soft inner darkness. Now take a deep, slow breath in through your nose, just feeling the air fill your lungs completely. Hold it for a moment and release it slowly through your mouth, letting go of any tension you might be holding in your shoulders, jaw, or your forehead. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine your body growing heavier, more rooted, like a great tree settling into the earth. In the heart of an ancient forest, where the moss-covered stones whispered secrets and the great oaks stood as silent sentinels, there lived a myth. Not a story told in hushed tones around a fire, but a presence that breathed life to every stream and every unfurling fern. This presence was the divine feminine. The forest was home to two seekers, Elara and Kai. Elara, a woman who carried the weight of her community's expectations, felt a fire within her that she had long been taught to suppress. She was told to be gentle, to be a vessel, but her soul yearned to be the sculptor of her own destiny. Kai, a man of great strength and a renowned hunter, felt a hollow ache in his heart. He was lauded for his prowess and his stoicism. Yet he felt disconnected, a stranger to the emotions that sometimes bubbled beneath his armored exterior. One day, a great storm raged, and the forest, usually a place of quiet serenity, was plugged into chaos. A mighty oak, the oldest in the forest, was struck by lightning and split in two. Where the trunk had been, a spring of luminous water began to bubble forth. It was not ordinary water. It was the spring of the divine feminine. Elara and Kai found themselves at the spring at the same time. The air around it thrummed with a gentle, undeniable power. Elara hesitated at first, dipped her hands into the glowing water. As she did, the suppressed fire within her didn't burn, but bloomed. She felt the strength of the forest floor, the resilience of the winding vines, and the nurturing power of the earth itself. The expectations that had bound her began to unravel like old threads. She realized that her gentleness was not a weakness, but the very essence of creation. And her fierce spirit was not a flaw, but the life-giving force that could shape worlds. She was not a vessel. She was the source. Kai watched Elara's transformation, was captivated and yet cautious. He had been taught that strength was hard, unyielding, like the stone he used to sharpen his tools. But seeing Ilara, he saw a different kind of strength, one that was fluid, intuitive, and deeply connected. He knelt and with a deep breath cupped his hands and drank from the spring. And as the water touched his lips, he didn't feel a surge of power, but a profound release. The armored walls he had built around his heart softened. He felt the pain he had ignored, the empathy he had suppressed, and the deep love he had been afraid to show. He realized that his true power wasn't in his ability to conquer, but in his capacity to feel and to nurture. His strength was not in being a stoic rock, but in being the fertile earth that allows life to grow. The divine feminine of the forest spring didn't erase their individual identities. It didn't turn Ilara into a warrior or Kai into a mother. Instead, it reawakened the dormant parts of their souls. For Ilara, it was the realization that her intuition and her nurturing spirit were powerful, creative forces that could move mountains. She became a leader who guided with wisdom and compassion. For Kai, it was the understanding that his empathy and emotional depth were not vulnerabilities, but the source of his truest strength. He became a protector who healed and a leader who connected. Together they learned that the divine feminine is not a gendered concept. It is the life-giving, intuitive, and creative energy that resides in us all. It is the wisdom to listen, the courage to feel, the strength to heal, and the power to create. It empowers women to be fully themselves, fierce, tender, creative, and resilient, without apology. And it empowers men to embrace their emotional depth, their capacity for nurturing, and their intuitive wisdom, freeing them from the rigid confines of what they've been told a man should be. The forest continued to thrive, but it was changed. It was no longer just a place of silent sentinels, but a living testament to the harmony of strength and vulnerability, of action and reflection. And the myth of the divine feminine was no longer just a story, but a living truth, a flowing spring that nourished the souls of all who came to drink from its light. Now, as the story of Ilara and Kai settles within you, feel the truth of it in your own heart. Feel the gentle stream of the divine feminine flowing within you, connecting you to all things. Acknowledge that the strength of the mountains and the softness of the quiet stream are not separate, but part of the same whole. The power to create and the courage to feel are not opposites, but two sides of the same coin. Now take a moment to feel this connection. You are not a single, isolated being, but a part of a great, intricate tapestry. The energy that created the stars and the force that makes a seed sprout in the earth is the same energy that flows within you. In this knowing, there is no separation, no division. We are all branches of the same tree, drops in the same ocean, woven together by the universal thread of the divine feminine. Now gently bring your awareness back to the room. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes, carrying this feeling of unity with you as you move forward. Namaste.